Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And with us today, we have Adrian Pacheco. She's the Director of Student Life and Chief Compliance Officer here at TTU. And also, we have Isabel Esquivel, who is an active student here at TTU, who's going to share her experience with the abroad program. Without further more, we continue with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emiliano. So, as he said, my name is Adrian Pacheco, and I oversee all the international experiences here at TTU Costa Rica. And I'm here to share with you a little bit about the different options that you might have as students while you study here at TTU. So, if you can help me with the presentation. Okay, so to start, I'm going to share a little bit about the different opportunities that there are, why it's important. So when going abroad, if you can go to the next slide, you will have different different adventures. You will learn about different cultures. You will set yourself apart. And through TTU, you'll be able to access over 200 different programs and 2 international sites. So here, Costa Rica, this is a satellite campus, but the students that come here have the option to go to the main campus to have a semester abroad over there, or they can also go to a center in Sevilla that TTU has. Can you go to the next slide? So why study abroad? Why is this important? There are a bunch of many reasons why I can tell you study abroad is important, but the main ones are that you will differentiate yourselves from the rest. So when you have an international experience, you will be able to see the world in a whole different way. You become more independent because this means that you will leave your comfort zone, you will step out of your comfort zone and go into a new country with different customs, with maybe a different language, with people you don't know, and be in a completely different environment, educational environment. Maybe they have different ways of doing their exams. So everything will be a little different. And what that will make, or what that will do for you, is that you'll become a lot more independent and you'll learn a whole lot of different skills that you didn't have in the past. And this will set you apart not only as a student, but very important when you graduate from college. The different employers will value this incredibly. So meaning that that when you graduate and the employers see on your CV that you've had an international experience, they will know that you have a whole lot of different skills that somebody who hasn't done or hasn't had this type of experience before. As well, by doing this international or having this international experience, you will earn a lot more. There are different studies that prove that you will have a higher starting salary when you finish, or when you look for your first job. You will get a job easier when you finish university, and it will be somewhat easier as well to get into a graduate program. Could you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. So this is a little bit of what I was mentioning before, that are key career benefits, and that will set you apart from the rest of the people who will be applying for jobs at the same time as you are. You can look for more information about this at IES Abroad. Can we go to the next slide, please? So how do you know if you're eligible to participate in these types of programs? So people who want to go on an international experience must be at least 18 years old, meaning that if you apply being 17, but you are already 18 when the time comes for you to go to an international experience, then you are eligible to participate. You must be a sophomore or above, and you must have a certain GPA. I say a certain GPA because it depends on the college that you are admitted into. So, for example, for the business students, they need a minimum of 275 as a GPA in order to do a study abroad experience, but the engineering students will have a 2.5. However, depending on the destination that you go to, you will you might have other GPA requirements according to the program you apply. Can we go to the next one? So when is it a good time to study abroad? I think studying abroad, it's always a good time. Even when you're at high school, I know there are certain high schools that do this and have this opportunity for their students. But when you're at university, we encourage our students to participate in these experiences as soon as possible. So as soon as you're 18 and that you're in your sophomore year, you are eligible to participate, and we encourage you to do so. Why is this? Because you will have more options to choose from if you decide to go on a learning trip, meaning that you will go and study or take courses at a different institution and then transfer those credits back. This means that when you are younger or when you're starting your degree program, there are more courses to choose from. So the earlier, the better. That is the first reason. The second reason to do so is because if you love the experience and want to do it again, you will still have the time to do so. So while you're here, maybe you want to go on your first year, you want to go and have an experience closer to home. So let's say that you want to go to Canada. Then on your third year, you decide you want to be a little bit more bold and go to Australia. And then when you're pretty ready and you say, I'm really just about to graduate and think that you have like a skill set that you feel like really ready and you have the skill set to do an internship, then you decide to go and do an international internship like Isa did, that she's going to tell you a little bit more about in a second. So that means that during your time at university, you'll be able to do even 3 different international experiences or even more if you try and organize yourself well. Academic advisors are always like a very important person to talk to while you're planning your study abroad trip, because they are the ones that know how your study plan is will be developing, meaning that if you they know which courses you will take each semester, or at least you have a plan, of somewhat accurate plan that of the courses that you'll be taking. So you can plan in advance where you want to go and what courses you can take. Can we move on to the next slide? So there are different program types at TTU. So you have a whole bunch of different possibilities. So if you want to go and learn abroad, this is the most popular one, where you go and take courses, for example, for credits and transfer back, the ones that I was talking to you about before. So if you want to go and take those courses and continue advancing in your career, that is a possibility through Learn Abroad. There are also different courses where you go for a shorter period of time through one of your classes And these are called faculty-led programs, where you are guided by a professor and you go with a group of students, so probably your classmates, and you go on a trip. And these are usually 1 or 2 weeks long, maybe up to 4 weeks, the longest that I've ever seen. And you go on excursions, you go on field trips and learn from different companies. You have lectures from experts in the topic that you're going to study. And then these experiences will add credits to your class, or credit hours to your class. That is a possibility with Learn Abroad. Then Intern Abroad is basically having the possibility of having a work experience in a different country. So Isa here, that she's going to tell us a little bit more about her experience in a little while, she had this possibility where she went to a company, and this was in a foreign country, of course, and she was an intern there. So she learned not only about the company and what they do every day, but she also learned a little bit about the culture. She even learned a little bit of another language, if I'm not mistaken. And that adds up, and definitely for your CV when you graduate, that will definitely differentiate you. Then there are opportunities of research abroad and serve abroad. This last one is basically volunteering or doing service learning. So if you're interested, or you've done this before in the past, I know many of us did it while we were at high school, that you go and volunteer with an NGO or a charity that you're particularly interested in, or even with the church, if you're affiliated to a church. And this is a possibility as well. And there are some courses that give you credit for participating in these. So you can go, for example, to work with a community in the Amazon, or go and learn about rivers or the drought in South Africa, or things like that. So there are many different opportunities for serving abroad. There are programs in business, in marketing, engineering, psychology, language. I mean, you name it, there is a little bit for everyone. This is specifically for the courses that you want to take. And there is a fantastic tool that you can use through the TTU website to browse a little bit about the different opportunities that there are. If we can go on to the next one. So as I told you before, there are over 200 different programs, and there are over 50 countries available. So as you can see, there are programs all over the world that you can choose from. And these programs are offered sometimes by universities or agencies, and these all go through the Office of International Education or International Affairs from the main campus and the Study Abroad office. So this means that even if you're here in Costa Rica, you go through the system as any other student at TTU would. So you apply through the same system, you have to go through the same steps, and you have the same offer as they do on the main campus as you would. Can you go to the next one? Thank you. So a question that we always get, and I think this is something that students always get pretty anxious about, is where they're going to stay when they go on an international experience. So there are different opportunities or different options. So depending on the destination that you go to, you can have residence halls, you can have student apartments, and there are also possibilities of you staying with a host family, meaning that a family from the country that you're going to will open their doors for international students so they can share a little bit more about their culture, and guide you through the process of going into a new country. If you ask me, this last one is one of my favorites because you get to know the country from someone that lives there. So they know the best places to go to, where to eat, where are the best sightseeing places, and a lot more. So that is a good way to learn about a different country. Can you go to the next one? Now, this is something that is particularly exclusive to students who come to TTU Costa Rica. So when you enroll at TTU Costa Rica, well, you become a TTU student. You become a Red Raider. And we use exactly the same platforms. We have exactly the same calendars and everything. Everything is the same as if you were on the main campus in Lubbock. So this gives you the opportunity to do a whole semester in Lubbock. So you would have the experience of being in TTU and Costa Rica, but also experiencing the main campus and what it's like to be on an American campus on American soil. So you get to go to the different activities that they have over there, get to know a whole lot of different students that also call themselves Red Raiders, but they are studying on the main campus. So this semester in Lubbock is offered to all of our students who are pursuing a degree here in Costa Rica, and they go for a whole term. The term that we usually offer is the fall term, so students can go, and you can apply to this at any time while you're studying here at TTU Costa Rica. So you would have your base here, and you would go for a semester and then come back to Costa Rica and continue advancing in your career. This semester in Lubbock would include your tuition and fees and room and board, meaning that you would take your classes over there, earn your credits on the main campus. You would have accommodation, and you would have your meals covered for that program while you're there. So this is something that is, as I mentioned before, exclusive to students from this campus here. So they're able to have the full TTU experience in Texas. There's something that I think I didn't mention at the beginning, and it is that we have TTU also has a center in Sevilla, in Spain, meaning that you can either have the opportunity to go to the main campus, but you could also consider the possibility of going to Sevilla in Spain. I think this is the last slide. So maybe just to wrap up, this is a fantastic opportunity for students while they are studying and while they're at college, because we offer you the programs, and we know these are safe destinations. We've vetted the whole list of programs. We know where you're going. We have the contacts with the host institutions. So it is a safe way for you to participate and to go to another country and still continue advancing in your career. So I encourage you, if you're considering coming to TTU, to consider this option. And I would love to talk to you after you do it to see how your life, the way you see life has changed after you've had this experience. And I think Isa will share a little bit more about that and how this experience changed her view on a lot of things. But yeah, so thank you so much, and I hope you do participate in international experiences. And I'll be here if you have any questions at the end.
Thank you very much, Adrian. Very valuable information. We're gonna be answering some questions at the end of the webinar, but right now we're gonna jump right next to Isa, that she will be sharing her experience.
Hi, everybody. As Emiliano said, my name is Isabel Esquivel. I'm currently a third year student in the Restaurant, Hotel, and Institutional Management major here at Texas Tech, Costa Rica. And as Adrian sort of mentioned, I got the opportunity of doing international experience over in Porto, Portugal for about 3 months during the last summer. And I'm gonna go ahead and share a little presentation that I made to show you a little bit about what I lived over there. So, first off, of course, to do these types of experiences, there is always a process. So, first off, we needed to find the internship. Second of all, we needed to fill out the requirements. And third of all, we had to make the move. So, to find the internship, basically, what we did is that we went over to talk to the Career Services Department here at TTU. And we shared our interest in maybe doing some kind of international experience, international internship, etc. Due to the fact that for our major, the RIM major, we do need to complete a certain amount of hours as a requisite to graduate. So basically, what we thought is if we still need to work at a hotel and we have the resources, the university is giving us the resources to maybe find something abroad, why not do it? So we extended this interests towards the Career Services Department, and then they helped us sort out the whole interview process and the different options that we had for this study abroad opportunity that we wanted. Basically, they gave us a bunch of options. They gave us options in Portugal, they gave us options in Australia, they gave us options in Peru, and basically in all of Central America. And at the end of the day, what fitted us the most ended up being Porto. And it was, I think, the best decision that we could have done. After that, we needed to fill out a bunch of requirements. Of course, doing a study abroad opportunity comes with a bunch of other responsibilities, and you go really hand in hand with the university as well. It's not like they are sending you over abroad and just making you see whatever you can do over there and survive alone. You are trained basically, so you do have to take a couple classes of them explaining what to do and what not to do when you are alone in a foreign country for the first time. They made us do, this is something that I valued a lot, they made us do this little safety assignment, which was basically go into Google Maps and find our accommodation, our place that we were going to be staying at, and then find the closest pharmacy and the closest hospital to us, which was great at the end of the day. Even if a university is sending you outside, and if you think that everything is under control, you never know when there might be a little emergency. So being well aware of where a good pharmacy and a good hospital were around us was great. And then finally, we needed to make the move. Of course, we were going from Costa Rica all the way to Portugal. So it was a big trip and a huge amount of planning to make sure that our flights were set with the dates that we were going to be doing our internship, that the cars were ready to pick us up where we needed them to pick us up, and also all of the packing, all of the planning. At the end of the day, we were moving abroad for 3 months, so it was a very tedious process to choose what to take and what not to take. And right here, I'm gonna show you a little video of how our first day in Portugal looked like. The first day that we got there, we were greeted by our other colleagues that worked in the hotel that we worked at. And it was basically their job to take us around, to show us our surroundings, and so that we just start getting familiarized with our city that we were going to be living in for the following months. Strange magic. Got a strange magic. Oh, I'm never gonna be the same again. I've seen the way. So basically, as you can see, and as I told you before, we did a basic tour of the city. We tried their native, the most amazing dessert in the world called pastel de nata. We tried their drinks. It was basically like a little introduction of maybe what our life would be looking like for the next couple of months. Sorry. After I do want to talk about what this program included. First off, very important, we did have a medical insurance that covered any type of issue that we were to have. This actually ended up coming in very in handy. My friend that went with me to this amazing experience that we had over in Portugal had a little accident, and we needed to take her to the emergency room, and everything was covered by the insurance. Second of all, we had the accommodation. The place that we stayed at was the same hotel that we were working at. So this also increased a lot of security for us, in the fact that we were safe and that we weren't just two girls in the middle of a new city that we didn't know about. We were in a safe place, surrounded by our colleagues, by other tourists and other people who were coming to Porto to visit. Then our specific internship also included meals. We had 2 meals a day, which were the meals that basically we had during our shifts in which we worked at. Then we gained a lot of professional experience. Personally, it was my first time working in a hotel or a restaurant or something similar to what my major is based in. So actually being part of the workforce and seeing everything that our professors here at university were teaching us in paper, but actually living it and being part of it was an invaluable experience. We had a lot of personal growth as well. Being alone in another country for the first time, away from our parents, was definitely an, a great experience. We had a lot of obstacles that we had to overcome. And we actually ended up learning a little bit of Portuguese, which I will be talking about later on in the presentation. But this just comes to see how amazing and how well prepared you can get out of these types of experiences. And finally, we had the best support from our campus here in Costa Rica. So our two counselors, Adrian, and at the time, the career services manager, Jessica Fonseca, they would check up on us continuously, almost every week, basically, to make sure that everything was going on smoothly, that everything that they had promised us was being achieved, and that we were also feeling well during our time there. So now for our daily life, we worked a regular 9 to 5 sort of shift. It was the same amount of hours, but it being a hotel, the schedules can vary a lot because hotels never close. So there always has to be somebody in a shift all the time. So basically, this varied. Sometimes we had the morning shift from 6 a.m. almost to 3 p.m. And then we had the afternoon shift from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And this is a little vlog that I had filmed during my time there. I had the afternoon shift that day, meaning that I had basically all of my morning free. And this is how my basically daily life looked like over there.
Es algo especial, difícil de olvidar. No. Hoy sé dónde son aquellas ganas de mirar para atrás. Cuando tú te vas del pago, no tienes que olvidar. Nunca imaginé.
So, as you saw, we spent a lot of time in the hotel that we worked at. Its name is Selina. And this was one of the 7 Selinas that were in Portugal. So, here are a little bit of pictures of how our life there looked like. We worked at the front desk and we worked a lot alongside the restaurant. So, you can see there a little bit of the menu and the food options that they had over there. Since we were actually living in the hotel, they did let us take advantage of all the accommodations that a regular guest would be having. So I don't know if you noticed, but at the very end of the video, we were with our friends watching a movie like with a projector in a big like TV room, and that was a big part and a big selling point of the hotel that we worked at. Basically, Selina had this whole demographic of people that were more like backpackers. So they tried to make as many common areas and as many interactive activities as possible so that people could meet each other. And we were also invited to those, which was great because we didn't only end up meeting people that were working with us, but we also ended up bonding a lot with the guests that we were at the end of the day serving as well during their stay there. And we actually made a bunch of friends. I still get to talk to a lot of them that we met that just came by the hotel for a couple of nights, and it was great to be able to meet people from other countries that we've never met before. And then, for a more exploratory side, so even though we went over there to have the whole experience of working and having an internship and seeing what our industry is like firsthand, we also took advantage of going around Portugal and learning a lot about their culture. So we made a lot of friends over there, most of them Portuguese or Brazilian. This is basically how we ended up learning a bunch of the Portuguese that we ended up learning. And then during the time that we were there interning, there were also other interns from other countries. For example, France, and as I said before, Brazil as well. Also, we did a lot of touristing around the city. All of these pictures that you can see here are in Porto or in Villanova de Gaia, which was basically on the other side of the river from Porto City. And we did a little bit of everything. We always hiked around. We never took a car, basically, barely took the metro. We walked around everywhere. We went over to the Estadio do Dragão, which is the stadium for FC Porto. We went over to Villanova de Gaia and walked around the Ribeira, which is that little river that you see over there. And we got to see a bunch of new monuments and amazing places that we didn't know that existed over there in Porto. And we also got to do a lot of tours for like the little markets that they have, eat their foods, and it was delicious. And here is a little video of actually the favorite place that I visit, which is called Jerez. It's about an hour and a half north from Porto. This was a 3-day trip that we took during our stay over there. And we actually stayed at another Selina which was open at the time there in Jerish. And this is a little vlog of a hike that we did during our time there.
En algún lugar de un gran país.
So that is basically everything that I have prepared for today. I just really wanted to share how an amazing experience this was for us, for my friend Mariana and I who came with me and did this experience with me. I think that definitely being part of this university and having the opportunities that we have for this is an amazing experience. And I hope that anybody that can take advantage of this experience can do it as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isa. It was a very interesting presentation, and it looked very, very good, the trip. We're gonna see if we have any questions available here. Let's see. Please feel free to ask anything you'd like to, maybe Isa to answer, or maybe Adrian. I'm gonna see over here and also in YouTube. Okay, perfect. It doesn't seem we have any questions right now, but also please feel free to send us your questions, and we're gonna leave our contact over here. And I think, okay, we just have one here from David. Can I apply for a semester in Lubbock as an electronic engineering undergrad? Maybe Adrian can help us with this one.
In order for you to be able to apply, you have to be. This is the case for any student. You have to be admitted into the college, and after that, you are able to apply as long as you have the necessary requirements of age, you have your passport, and the willingness to participate, and the GPA, of course.
Let's see if we have any more questions. Okay, it seems we don't have any more questions. Again, please feel free, if you have any questions later on, just text us, send us a message, and we'll be more than happy to help you with those questions. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I hope this information was very valuable to everybody, and we'll keep you posted when we have any new webinars. Thank you very much, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye.
Let the pleasure ring, let the music take flight. In this lively folk rock, we'll dance through the night. Acoustic and electric, when that's alright. We're dancing with the wind under the moonlight. Under the moonlight.
En las sombras mueren genios sin saber de su magia concedida sin pedirlo mucho tiempo antes de nacer.